Yeah, buddy. What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Childish. We're back at it again with part two of leveling your opponents. It's all about that Draco and how we go about countering. Now, this one's going to be a little bit different. If you guys remember from the Sunday Fun Day, I finished off kind of, broaden your horizons and try to, think outside the box as to what you want to do to go about your setup. And so this one, as far as the utilization of Draco, I'm now talking about not facing Draco, but utilizing Draco in the arena defense. How am I going to go about utilizing him to my advantage? So as you guys know, for quite a few months, the team has been Veramos, Chandra, Darian, and Chasoon. And this did, even though it was very illusionable, it did really, really well. It generated probably 25 to 30% defensive wins over the course of a week on average. And to some people out there, that's definitely, really strong considering that generally the people that are shooting to attack you are the ones that are confident in their ability to take you out. As you guys know, I recently made a switch so that I can play around with Jubel in there. And then in addition, I went ahead and obviously got Draco when he was available and then made the change here. Now, because I have, thought about my strategy as far as utilizing Draco, I have made another recent change to go back to Darian and go along with this setup for the time being. So, what I'm going to do today, guys, is just basically talk about my arena defense and why I got things set up the way I do, so that you can try to utilize some of my setups to your advantage, okay? Because you might be in the same situation. So, leveling your opponent, right? This is all about trying to get ahead of your opponent when your opponent thinks he got the edge. We're trying to get you to the point where you're one up in him and you got the advantage. So, the first question you need to ask yourself when trying to level your opponent is what do they see when they look at you, right? And is your team lutionable? Okay, so if your team is lutionable, then this is going to be the video for you to listen to. All right, and if that's the case, then we understand that generally the people that are going to go for us are going to be Evolution. So we need to think about the types of units and or runes that are going to be countering that, okay? And as you guys have known over the course of the last 15 episodes for Educate and Dominate, I've basically combined all the knowledge that has been given to me to create what I'm going to be discussing with you today. So, first off, we're going to go ahead and talk about basically the two main damage dealers. We got ourselves the Chandra and the Darian, both on Violent Revenge. Chandra obviously hasn't changed, right? But we went ahead and just want to go ahead and make the note that as we take a look at it, because everybody, there is a handful of people that have contacted me that do have Chandra, so just to put it out there. Because of the ability to stun with the first attack and having revenge, it definitely makes it gives you that additional chance of getting the opportunity to retaliate when illusion goes off. When illusion goes off, he has the amputation magic, 3 targets and 3 attacks, and so that's 3 opportunities for me to counterattack. Right? From what I understand. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. But every time somebody attacks, you get a 50% chance to counterattack. So. With him being able to stun on the first turn, there's really no reason not to go with Revenge. Obviously, the speed buff that comes with it makes it very, very strong. And if you get the opportunity to cast a speed buff before your next turn, that is pretty golden. Okay. Next up, we have the Darian. Okay, Darian, Violent Revenge, and as I told you before, the beginning of this month, I really, really am a big fan of Jubel, utilizing Jubel in the arena defense to go after those Bellas. As you guys know, Bellas are the end-all, be-all, ultimate unit when it comes to arena offense, providing defense break, buff removal, and attack H, as well as heal increase. One of the best heals out there. for a farmable unit. And so, considering that, I'm trying to get ahead of my opponent by trying to set up, initially try to set up Jubel in there so that he can force my team as the at that time the only defense breaker, because it was this particular setup right here as the only defense breaker to go for those light units and take him out. Now, one thing's to note is while he is extremely good, he is a little bit selfish, okay, when it comes to his particular setup. So he has the reduction, as you guys know, reducing the chance of a critical hit by 50%, which is good considering Lucians are generally, they're only going to, be able to take you out if they critically hit. That can drastically reduce the amount that they critically hit, but it's not going to provide a lot of utility when it comes to the rest of your party. So, if you're looking at utilizing Darien over, or Darien or Jubal, I think it is my belief, as well as some of the opinions of the lovely people of our Educate and Dominate series, that Darien is the one to utilize over Jubel for the fact that he provides that passive. Now, I want to make something perfectly clear. His passive is a damage reduction passive, okay? It is not a passive that increases a unit's defense by X amount, right? It is a damage reduction. So even though the unit is going to ignore defense, Lucian is going to ignore defense, this still plays a factor in the amount of damage that is done, because it is not an actual defense modifier, so to speak, in that it increases the stat, but it is a reduction modifier that takes a look at the overall damage and reduces it by 15%. And while you guys might understand that 15% is not a big amount, okay, 15% of a damage reduction on a unit that is ignoring defense is that make or break amount of damage that might allow you, your Bella or your Chasoon or whatever, to have that 2% of health or 3% of health or 4% of health left to cast their Fallen Blossoms, to cast their the heal on Bella, fail, I don't know what it's called, mobilize, right? To cast those third skills that provides immunity or attack education, so on and so forth. You need to look at all aspects of what you bring to the table and make sure that you can, do whatever you got to do is to make sure that at the end of the day you're the one that's still standing. So that's why Darien is back in the mix. And that was broke too. I spent about a day and a half between leveling runes and upgrading runes, or should be, playing Dragon Speed 10, just to farm it, sell runes in order to get money to revamp all my units' runes. Okay, and then of course we have two of the units that are going to be utilizing a Nemesis set. Okay, I believe, and it is my belief as well as other people on the thing. If you guys watch the Oh My God Bomber, his addition to the Educate Dominate series, as well as his rants. If you guys checked out his channel, you'll notice that he has some Summoners War rants talking about some insight. He has stated the importance of Nemesis rules and how they can make or break a fight when it comes to people going at you with regards to Lucian attacks. So as they hit you drastically, it increases your attack gauge. Now, when people look at those Nemesis runes, guys, and let's go ahead and we'll take a look at, one of his runes right here, right? The attack gauge by 4%, is not a high amount, okay? But when you're talking about a unit that is going to be doing upwards of 20 to 24k of damage, and you're doing it to a unit that is only has 30 to 35 to 40k, we're looking at 50% of their life, okay? And if you're losing 50% of your health, that's going to be a substantial increase in attack gauge. That's going to push you up on the top of the list. And if your total speed, as Berg420 recently stated in his Educate Dominate, that is going to give you the edge to take your turn and do what it is you got to do. So as you guys know, early in the Monday, I talked about how I'm a big fan of Despair Revenge or Violent Nemesis. And while I feel Violent Nemesis is the end-all be-all for arena defense when trying to utilize Draco in the mix, I'm actually going with the spare nemesis just to try to mix it up and try to stall out my opponent. Now here's my reasoning. The Lucian teams that don't have a Chloe are bringing it to bringing that YOLO status, right? And with a YOLO status, they generally have tons of speed, tons of buffs, but they do not have any type of immunity and any type of invulnerability, like a Chloe or whatever. So, what this can allow me to do is not only get the opportunity to increase my attack gauge for everybody and push them all to the rim, but if it misses, I have the opportunity to not only stun them with my first skill because I get additional turns because of despair, but have the opportunity to AoE defense break, which is not important. The important part is that any skill that I have AoE based is going to have the additional chance of stunning. That is 25% chance on resistor, right? This is not based on my modifier of accuracy. Everybody knows that the spare runes, 25% chance to stun, and it can't be resisted, right? It's just a 25% modifier flat out. Okay, so again, 2 out of 3 skills are going to benefit my team when it comes to defending Lucians. In addition, if I miss, I have the opportunity to get the additional turn with 30% and, essentially cast this again. Okay, so huge component here when it comes to that. Last but not least, we got our Chasun, and obviously Chasun is again another backbone when it comes to, utilizing a nemesis set. Um, Obviously, again, both skills. Um, her big heal that provides the buff as well as the heal. In addition to Fallen Blossoms, 2 out of 3 chances to, get somebody, from back up in the mix with regards to their heals. And of course, if one goes off or one doesn't go off, I still have the opportunity because of my violence set to cast either one and get the job done. So we'll go ahead and just do a quick look at the units and the runes, so you guys can see where we're sitting at. Uh, I've definitely taken 1 or 2 of my better runes off of Corona, this one, and off of Veramos, this one. I want, why is that? Why take one of your top units? Take off a rune that you're utilizing for that to put on Drake. Okay, it's pretty clear to most people, but I want to go and point it out. When you have progressed in the game as such that you've completed everything when it comes to PvE, and PvP is the only thing that matters, Arena and Guild Wars, then as bait, I'm using everybody's example from Educate and Dominate, trying to show you that it's it's some of these top players' insight that allows me to do what I do right now. Barian made the comment, as everybody has known who watched this video, that um, he states that he's not one of the best players because he has the best units in the game. He is one of the best players as far as the arena goes because he is focusing on um, putting the best runes on his best units and not trying to throw all the runes this and that wherever on 10, 12, 15, 20 units. He's focused on putting his best runes on his top 4 units for arena defense to make sure that he has the biggest edge he could do. As he states, the runes are king and the runes are going to get the job done in the arena and guild wars. So because I'm utilizing Draco, I'm going to be using my best Nemesis runes and my best Despair runes with the best speed substats, best hit point substats, so on and so forth. Okay. In addition, Draco is intentionally set up with 170 speed. He could be a little bit lower, and he could be a little bit higher, but then I would lose the opportunity to use Nemesis. So I made sure that when I put up this setup, that I put the at least 175 speed or more. I'll be working to get more. Why is that the case? Okay, last episode of Educate and Dominate with Berg 420 stated that people not only are using Lucians, but they're using speedier Lucians. So we need to think one step ahead and tell ourselves what can we do to make sure that we still get the jump on the units, right? On the Lucians. So we need to make sure that if typical Lucians or typical Bernards in the Guardian ranks have about 250 speed, and 70% of that is around 175 or 170, we need to make sure that at least one of our units, if not two, can cover that speed that is set up for Nemesis, so that when the attack is cast and the speed is pushed, we have an opportunity to get ahead of them and make sure that we can get our attack off before they get their attack off. Okay? Let's see here. We got, I think that's pretty much it. So what I'll go ahead and do, I think I already went over the runes real quick here, but I'll go ahead and do it one more time. I need it. This rune needs to change. And that's pretty much the big thing here is to try to get a 6-star despair rune with some speed on it, accuracy on it. Obviously overall just same despair, same nemesis, but just overall the goal is to get more speed. No plans on changing, Chandra. At the end of the day, I do want more speed on him, but I want to maintain that 150 crit damage and about 40k. That's about 39.9. I just call it 40k because I'm a boss. That's what I do. Darian's damage has been reduced. Darian's hit points has been reduced to make sure that he has the speed necessary. Take note that he is rocking at 141 speed, and Chasun is rocking at 142 speed, which means that Darian is going to go right after my Chasun. And, as far as the order goes, Chasun will go, Darian will go, and then Chandra will go. If Draco has the opportunity to push the attack age right from the get-go. So not only am I focusing on my Nemesis runes or my shield runes, I'm not utilizing shield runes at this time, but I'm focused on Nemesis runes to get the job done. I'm making sure that my attack sequencing is crucial to getting it done. We've had multiple people make note of the attack sequencing. Fish Guts comes to mind. If you guys watched that video, if you haven't seen this video, he has literally 3 to 4 or 4 to 5 units in a variety of situations, literally at the same speed to make sure that when he throws them in his team and has to mix it up depending on the element that he needs, he is right on point, and all of his units literally go back to back to back to back. Extremely important, extremely strong, and it's just crucial in your success. So overall, guys, that's pretty much it right there. Utilizing either Nemesis or Shield runes, it's something that they don't expect. That's going to provide you either additional hit point on the front end, or the Nemesis to provide that increase of attack gauge to utilize your skills even more. I think Nemesis and Shield both can go hand in hand, but because Shield is something that is utilized for 3 turns, I think it is definitely strong as far as counter illusion, but Nemesis runes is something that is going to continue to go, after that. And so if I fight people that are not rocking illusions, then not only do I have the opportunity to provide Nemesis for that first initial turn, but I do have the opportunity to utilize the Nemesis buff or the Nemesis skills later in the match. So it's a little bit more overall a better choice in my opinion. That being said, I still find a lot of value in the shield runes when you're focused on leveling your opponent and countering the double illusion combo. Okay, so thank you all for tuning in. I hope this information is good. If you found this information good, please give me a like, give me a comment, make sure you share it, subscribe it, but do me a favor, don't thank me, thank the people that have taken their time out of their day to provide this amazing insight in the Educate Dominate series. They're the heroes here, not me. Thank you all from those multiple videos that is watching. I truly am not just a YouTuber, but I'm a big fan of everything that you provided. All of your guys' insight over the course of my time has helped me so much. I am forever grateful, and thank you all for your support. That's your boy Childish or ChildishPlays. Check it out. Take care, and we will see you in the next episode. I'm out.